The HOA president attacked my disabled daughter on school grounds and thought she could get away with it. Pause the video right now and tell me, what would you do if this happened? Comment below before watching the ending. Her name was Patricia Whitmore, the self-appointed queen of Metobrook Heights. She ruled every family, every rule, every mailbox like she owned the world. People whispered about her behind closed doors, but everyone feared speaking up, because Patricia had power, influence, and a way of making life unbearable for anyone who dared cross her. But that afternoon, under the same oak tree where my little girl loved to read, Patricia crossed a line no mother could ever forgive. My daughter Lily is 8 years old. She's small, bright, and fiercely independent, even with her disability. Lily uses a wheelchair, and she's faced more challenges in her short life than most adults I know. But she's brave, and she loves school. She loves books, she loves her friends, and she loves that playground. It was a warm spring afternoon. Birds were chirping. Sunlight spilled across the playground. Children's laughter bounced off the swings and slides. And there she was, my daughter, sitting under the oak tree, reading one of her favorite stories. Patricia Whitmore appeared out of nowhere. Her heels clicked against the pavement like a countdown to chaos. Her eyes, sharp as daggers, fixed on Lily. I didn't think anything of it at first. Patricia often prowled the neighborhood, lecturing parents, enforcing rules nobody else knew existed. But this time, it wasn't a rule she was enforcing. It was a personal vendetta. I froze as I saw Patricia approach Lily. My stomach sank. Patricia leaned down, grabbed the wheelchair, and tried to shove Lily out of the shade. "You can't sit there," she barked. "That tree is off limits. I want to know, if this was your child, what would you do? Comment below before we reveal what happens next." "Mom!" Lily screamed. Her voice cracked, fear lacing every syllable. I ran toward them, heart pounding. "Patricia, get your hands off my daughter!" But Patricia didn't stop. Instead, she shoved harder, forcing Lily sideways in her wheelchair. Other children scattered, screaming. Teachers rushed over, but Patricia wasn't intimidated. She didn't care about rules. She didn't care about witnesses. She wanted control, and she wanted humiliation, and she wanted it in front of everyone. I grabbed her arm. "You're hurting her," I yelled, fury coursing through me. "She's a child. She's disabled," Patricia sneered. "Rules are rules, lady. She doesn't get special treatment." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Rules. Rules don't allow an adult to assault a child. But Patricia had spent years cloaking cruelty under a thin veneer of HOA authority. People believed her, or they feared her. I pulled Lily into my arms, shielding her. She was trembling, tears streaming down her face. Her little hands clutched my shirt. "Mom, why did she do that?" I didn't have an answer. All I knew was that from that moment on, Patricia Whitmore would never touch my daughter again, not without consequences. I reported the incident to the school immediately. The principal assured me they would handle it, but I could see the fear in his eyes. He didn't want to upset the HOA president. He didn't want to rock the boat. But I wasn't leaving my daughter defenseless. Next, I went to the HOA board. I filed a formal complaint. I expected support. I expected justice. But instead, silence. Patricia was untouchable. The board brushed it off as a misunderstanding. They even suggested I apologize to Patricia for overreacting. I couldn't believe it. I was angry, but I also felt helpless. I felt the weight of powerlessness that so many parents in our neighborhood felt. Patricia Whitmore didn't just enforce rules, she owned them. And she wanted everyone else to play by her version of the law. I knew I couldn't wait for the board. I couldn't rely on the system. I had to fight for Lily myself. I started documenting everything. Videos, photos, witness statements. Every encounter Patricia had with Lily. Every moment of intimidation. Every instance where she tried to assert her authority. I even spoke to other parents who had experienced her wrath but had stayed silent. Many were afraid of retaliation, but a few agreed to speak on record. One mother whispered to me, "She ruined our mailbox because we painted it the wrong color. She fined us $200 for flowers that were technically 2 inches outside the HOA guidelines." I nodded. I know. I'm not letting her do this to my daughter. The more evidence I collected, the more I realized Patricia Whitmore thrived on fear. She didn't care about rules. She cared about control. And if the world saw her for what she truly was, her empire would crumble. It took weeks of preparation, but finally, I confronted her, in a way that would leave no room for denial. I arranged a meeting with the HOA board and the parents of affected children. I presented the evidence, videos of her behavior, witness statements, medical reports showing Lily's distress, and even statements from parents who had been fined or harassed. Patricia tried to deflect, to charm, to intimidate, but this time, I had armor she couldn't pierce. Truth. "You have crossed a line," I said, my voice calm but unwavering. "This isn't about a tree, a rule, or a chair. This is about a child's safety, and your abuse of power will not go unchallenged." I saw the fear in her eyes then. The first crack in her carefully constructed mask. The board members who had been complicit for so long looked uneasy. The parents looked relieved. They had been waiting for someone to speak. The HOA had no choice but to act. Patricia Whitmore was removed from her position. She was banned from school grounds. And finally, after months of legal consultation, we pursued a civil case for assault and emotional trauma. Lily slowly began to heal. She returned to her favorite tree, to her books, to her friends. She knew her mother had her back, and that was all that mattered. Patricia Whitmore thought she could get away with it, but she was wrong. And from that day forward, the oak tree became a symbol of resilience, courage, and the fact that no queen, HOA or otherwise, can ever rule unchecked when truth is on your side. Comment below. Could you have stood up to her like I did? And don't forget to subscribe for more unbelievable HOA drama stories.